You applied for 65 jobs, got rejected by all of them.
At one point, if 7-Eleven had offered
Like
me a
any
job,
job.
I would have taken it with a hand kiss. I literally started my new year with no boyfriend, no job, no apartment, no visa, almost no more money. But my love for Singapore was really that strong.
So you started your Instagram account and then success and popularity came very fast. Was there any cost that you had to pay for that?
For sure. There were, I think until now, 3 people who sent me an actual message, a DM, saying I should kill myself and someone should rape me alive.
I could see it could traumatize someone's self-confidence. Did it happen to you? How did you process it? Marian, thank you so much for joining today.
Yana, thank you so much for having me.
You're coming from a comfortable family and you had your entire future planned out for you pretty much. Marry the right man, become a wifey, have a good life, do whatever it is that you do there. And you decided not to do that and instead pursue something different. Why is that?
Yeah, that is true. I mean, the plan was, as you mentioned, I was coming with my ex-boyfriend. And well, my boyfriend at the time, he had a job offer in Singapore. And the plan was to see this as a 2 years adventure. We already had an apartment to move in back in Switzerland when we would get back. And coming to Singapore the first year really changed my mindset and changed my sight on how I want to live my life, what is important to me, and where I want to go in the next few years. So it's really, I always say, it's me who changed the plan. Like it's me who did not stick to what we agreed on. Very shortly, he wanted to go back to Switzerland. He was not very happy in Singapore. And for me, just the thought of moving back and going back to our old lives was so terrifying and sad. And I cried a lot. Yeah, so after we broke up, I decided to stay here, and it was really tough actually. After I broke up, I literally started my new year with no boyfriend, no job, no apartment, no visa, almost no more money because I had 1 year of savings, which were almost over or gone after 1 year in Singapore trying to find a job. So, but my love for Singapore was really that strong that I knew that I had to try everything that was within my power to make this work.
What is your first impression of Singapore when you arrived here?
Oh, I arrived in Singapore and I fell in love with this place. I think the minute I arrived, I remember I was driving over the bridge and I saw Marina Bay Sands and the flyer, this beautiful part where you come from Changi Airport into the city. And I was sitting there and I was so fascinated. And ever since, I think my love for Singapore grew every single day. It has been 3 years and a life in Switzerland or moving back is really so far away from me. In the beginning, I remember I was a bit scared or like I couldn't really share with my family or like how I felt about coming back.
Well, they wouldn't understand probably.
Yeah, and I felt like I would hurt them in a way of saying, hey, I'm so happy in my new home that I really cannot imagine moving back here anymore. I mean, I grew up in this place for 26 years and I was never particularly unhappy with it. But moving to Singapore and realizing what else there is and how happy I could actually be in my life really changed the perception of how I viewed Switzerland. I really felt like I do not belong here anymore.
So you applied for 65 jobs and got rejected. What kind of jobs? I'm just curious.
At one point, if 7-Eleven had offered
Like
me a
any
job,
job.
I would have taken it with a hand kiss. But I mean, I have a master's in political science and I was looking for a corporate job, maybe, something at a television station or CNA or anything at one point. But no, I wouldn't even get interviews.
Do you think it's because of the papers? Because you didn't have the right papers at the time?
No, I think it was after COVID, they really got very strict with the requirements of hiring a foreigner. They had a big quota, which says, for example, you need 11 locals and then you can hire 1 foreigner. And then I did not have a lot of work experience. I just graduated. I had side jobs and I had, I was tutoring and worked at the cafe, but that's not really relevant for a job. So there was really no reason for them to justify in hiring a foreigner and sponsor a visa.
And so that's how you became a content creator.
Yeah, so that was really never my plan. That was really unexpected because I had a lot of time in the beginning and I was so fascinated about chicken rice and the hawker food and in general Singapore culture. So I started this new Instagram account, Swizzy in SG, which stands for Switzerland in Singapore. I always like to explain this because a lot of people think my name is Swizzy and they come up to the street and say me, hi, Swizzy. And I think it's really cute. But yeah, my name is actually Marion. So Swizzy in SG is really Switzerland in Singapore.
But Swizzy is a very cute nickname.
Yeah,
I must say.
I think it's cute. I think it's cute. And I started listening to it. And I didn't tell anyone about this account. It was really more of a personal diary as well. I'm shared with my mom and my brother, but not really my Swiss friends. I had no experience in content creation. I had no clue what I was doing. I had no strategy. But I realized that I really found passion in creating videos, learn more about storytelling, learn more about building communities. And soon after, I met a creator from the industry which had 100,000 followers. And that was, for me, that was unachievable at that time. And I was so interested in how they make money. And I realized, okay, there is a lot of money in this industry. I kept posting and posting, and I think it really snowballed from very shortly after I started. I gained a lot of followers. I got my first, brand opportunities. So that's when I realized, okay, I could make this a business.
And so when did you feel it actually became a business? What was the turning point?
The problem was I was not able or I was not allowed to earn any money from it.
Because of the papers?
Yes, because I did not have a visa. So in that first year, I really just, created a lot of content, had to reject most of the paid brand deals. I was able to take the barter collaborations, which was a restaurant would invite me down to try their food and talk about it online, but there was no cash payment involved, so that was okay. But I couldn't earn any money. So the only solution was to incorporate a company which then sponsors me, Marion, as an individual, a work pass, an employment pass. So after the breakup, when I got back to Singapore, I incorporated this company and applied for an EP. I had help from a company which I paid to do all the paperwork for me, but they also told me, Marion, we've never had a content creator asking for an EP or applying for an EP. We don't know if this is going to work. And I spent literally the last money I had on this company was $4,800. I remember so well. It's so well. But I knew this was my last chance. I was my last chance to be able to stay in Singapore. So I took that chance and my EP got approved. And yeah, I feel like everything else is history. I've been living and working as a content creator ever since.
So in your 20s, I think if you apply for 65 job and you get rejected by all and you just broke up from your boyfriend, I could see it could traumatize someone's self-confidence. Did it happen to you or not? And how did you process it?
Being a professional figure skater has definitely been one of the best life schools as I could have gotten. Looking back, I learned discipline, I learned resilience, I learned pushing through when things got really hard. I was on the ice 7 days a week, sometimes twice a day, and I had competition on the weekend. And yeah, not always, I was so motivated to go on ice, but there was no choice. I was very, very passionate about it. But yeah, there was some times where it was really tough. So I think looking back, being a professional figure skater helped me a lot because being an athlete is brutal. I was not mentally very strong, so I oftentimes could not deliver on ice what I was able to deliver in practice.
Because of the pressure.
Because of the pressure, I was very, very nervous. I had to throw up before going on ice. And this is, by the way, also something that now really comes to a benefit because I do not know what it feels like getting nervous anymore. Ever since I stopped figure skating, I haven't felt nervous. I don't think ever.
On that scale, right?
Yeah, is it for job interviews? Is it for dates? Is it for meetings? Is it anything that I could think of is less tough than going on ice and feeling that nervosity in my chest. So I think, I feel kind of blessed that I would never get nervous again.
Wow, that's very. I'm not going to talk about mental health of athletes. I think it's the whole other conversation. But
Yeah,
you
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
started it. I think it's I mean, it's tough. It's tough.
I mean, there were definitely times where I was losing confidence and I asked my mom, what is wrong? What am I doing wrong? Am I not good enough? And again, I've mentioned this, it was really a tough time and I was so close of giving up a lot of times. I would have just, I had the option to just go back to Switzerland. I have a good education. I knew that I could find a good job in Zurich, but I just knew that I've always had the mindset, or my life motto has always been, you only regret the things in life you didn't do. And I never wanted to come to a point where I would look back and think I should have tried one more time. So that was my motivation for the job applications in the beginning. I said, no, one more time. This can't be it. And yeah, I also didn't have much else, many other choices at that time.
By now in Asia, parents like to protect their kids often financially. If they come from more privileged families, there is usually an inclination to support children because they get married later. They often live longer with their parents under the same roof. So there's not much pressure for adults in their 20s, even 30s, to actually go out there and make money and do something with their lives. Because there's always some kind of family structure you can fall back. And people might not talk about it, but it's always kind of given there. So you're a very interesting example because you also, in a way, had something similar in Switzerland, but I'm assuming because of your professional background as an athlete at such a young age, you are not scared to challenge status quo and also your motivation. That's what I'm curious about, So if it's not desperation, right? Let's say for someone who comes from nothing, it has nothing to lose. Then it's kind of, I either die or I make it. Then what motivates you?
I've always been a very curious and active person. I've always been curious about new things, connecting with people, even traveling. When I had to choose my studies, there were so many subjects that I wanted to study because I'm so curious in learning more about life. So I guess the motivation came less from a financial background. I mean, obviously I had to make money and I wanted to have a comfortable life. And I just know that achieving your goals is something that is intrinsically satisfying and builds confidence from within, which can help you in so many aspects in your life. And I just think that finding something that you're passionate about and make this your job is the most beautiful thing, because then work never really feels like work. So my motivation was to achieve my goals. And my goal was then at that time, I want to become a content creator and I want to be able to stay in Singapore. And if you set a goal and then you manage to achieve these goals, I think is a great feeling. And that, I think, motivated me. And I think, the love for Singapore, I realized this is my happy place. This is where I want to be able to spend the next years of my life. And that was really, looking back, is really Singapore that motivated me to be able to stay here.
Very interesting. Do you consider yourself successful?
I do.
Is there, the next one is a tricky question, okay? What does it cost you, the success so far?
That is a good question. I think I'm lucky that I feel like I did not have to make a lot of sacrifices along the way. I've always had a very supportive family. My mother and my brother are my biggest cheerleaders, and they've been the ones pushing me when I was so close of giving up. I would say the biggest sacrifice was probably one or two friendships from Switzerland, which I look back were probably never real friends.
So why they did not survive those friendships?
There was a girl, she told me that, your life in Singapore and showing your life online is a very bad influence on a lot of people because it's oftentimes not reality. And I think she wanted to become a YouTuber herself, and I think she was quite successful, and I think there was a bit of jealousy involved. But she clearly told me that she does not like what I do, and she thinks that it's superficial or which until now, I feel 100% authentic, and I would never post anything that's not real. So I feel like
So to you, what you feel, what you share publicly online is what it is for you.
yes. And that was always my number one priority. My biggest nightmare was someone would meet me in real life and would be like, what?
You're so different from what I thought you are.
And
yeah.
That's why, my content is not perfect. I'm not always with makeup. I don't look perfect in every shot, but I think that's what it's about. So
humanity.
Yeah. So I couldn't really understand where she was coming from. But yeah, I think that friendship just didn't survive. I gained a lot of other friendships along the way. But other than that, I mean, the biggest sacrifice is being away from my family. As mentioned, I have a very special relationship with my mom and my brother. We're very, very close, and being a 12 hours flight away is oftentimes not easy. I'm missing a lot of important events. I can't be there for their birthdays or my brother's bar exam, which he passed. And yeah, nobody can give me back these memories.
And how is that coming into your life vision here?
I mean, I try to make my own memories and build my own success stories and have beautiful moments with the friends and, like kind of new family I'm building here. But I think there's no replacement for mom and brother and families. So that's just a sacrifice and a trade-off that I take.
So I guess that's the deeper trade-off.
Yeah, that's
underneath the friendship, that
Yeah.
being away from your original family and not maybe
Yes.
being there as often for the meaningful moments as you would like to. Thank you for sharing that.
But again, my mom has always been so supportive, and if I did not have her support and her back, I don't think I would be here. She's always been a mom that wanted the best for her children, and I know that it's hard for her sometimes, and she misses me a lot. But I'm so grateful that I can feel that whenever I'm happy, she's the happiest, and she knows I'm genuinely so happy here in Singapore. And whenever I go back, even in December, during Christmas, I just wasn't really happy back home. I loved spending time with my mom and my friends and my brother, but I could just tell that this is just not where I belong anymore.
Yeah, I can feel that. I left my mom's home when I was 17, and I left the country of my birth when I was, I think, 20 or 21. And I'm wondering sometimes where our mothers, who are like your mom also, who just tell you, okay, you go and you pursue your best life and you become the best, happiest version of yourself. I'm wondering sometimes, where do they draw their strengths from?
Yeah.
That's what I'm wondering. So
I also wonder.
where do you feel your mom is drawing it from?
I think because I talk to her every hour of the day, and if I do not reply to her texts within 2 hours, she's like, hello?
Is everything okay?
Are you ghosting me? Are you dead? It's like, what's happening? So she finds joy in sharing my experiences here, because I also let her take part in my life very, very closely. I share everything with her and share my success stories, also my not so success stories. So she's really part of my life here, even though she's not here. And with the fact of WhatsApp and, FaceTime, and she's really close with me still. So I think her joy is really seeing me succeed. And when I have a new campaign that I'm excited about and I share with her, she's happy for me, and it makes her happy that I'm happy. So I think she's happy because I'm so happy. Yeah. And she comes visit very often. She comes 3 times a year.
Okay. I have one more tricky question.
Go for it.
You are single, right?
Yes.
So what I heard from many Caucasian-looking single women in Singapore, that dating is horrible here. So what do you have to say about it?
Oh, this topic, you know what I always say? I could make a Netflix show out of my dating life in Singapore, and that would be a hit. There is so much drama. So many tears, so many ups and downs and unexpected turns. And
so what was tell me what was the most maybe unusual dating story that you had?
I mean, this is a bit of a private one, but
as much as you
I
can
got
share.
scammed by a Singaporean for
You
a
got
lot of
scammed
money.
for a lot of money by a Singaporean.
Yes.
Wow, that's worst of
And-
Netflix show. Absolutely. I thought it never happens here. Any other country I would understand, not in Singapore.
I'm still looking back. I cannot believe this happened to me, but I was so in love with, I thought I was so in love with this guy, and I thought this is the man of my dreams and my life, and I'm going to marry him. And then he ghosted me suddenly for 2 weeks. And then I realized all the money that was in our shared bank account was gone.
Oh my God.
And then I was heartbroken and broke at the same time.
Sorry, I shouldn't be
That
laughing,
was-
but it is
no,
kind of
you know,
funny,
like,
you know.
looking- I think it's a good
I should be
story.
crying now listening to you.
I mean, at that point, it was really one of the lowest points of my life, probably. But looking back, I think I just learned a lot out of it. I think I will never.
Please
Yeah.
don't say I will never date Singaporean again. I'm
No.
sure it's not so bad with
No,
everyone.
I don't. Could have happened with any nationality, but that was very. I'm just still thinking about this. My mom met him. I spent so much time with his
How
family.
long did you date him?
3 months.
And you had a joint account? Why?
No,
I'm sorry, not my business, but this is like very unusual.
I was in the process of opening a new bank account, and it took a very long time. So then I needed a local bank account to for Pay Now, and it's just like a lot
So
easier.
it's like
for,
circumstantial.
Yeah, so he offered to open a bank account for me, which was at that time I thought, oh, that's so nice, but I didn't realize that he was the only one having access to the money. But
Marianne.
anyway, you can really tell that love makes you blind.
Wow, sorry. I mean, it's not so funny story. Yes, that's, okay, so what was the most amazing love story you had in Singapore so far?
The most amazing.
Yes.
Well, the fact that I'm still single shows that none of them
Yes,
had
I
a
know,
lot
none of them
happy
that amazing,
endings.
probably.
I met definitely a lot of interesting people, and I had insights into other cultures and families. Spending Chinese New Year with a Singaporean family is something that was a beautiful experience, and I would not have had a chance to experience this without dating a Singaporean. But yeah, other than that, I'm not sure if there's a lot of positive stories. There was always a time.
Really, really sad. Don't tell me.
There was always a time where I was very happy, and then I realized that our values are just very, very different. Or, there was a guy that came from a very wealthy family, and then that meant that he didn't like the heat, and he only could stay in aircon, and we couldn't go to hawker centers. And then I realized, wow, this is not me. Like, how can I live with someone I cannot have chicken rice at Maxwell with, I think I learned all these stories and all these men that came into my life, and they taught me something about myself, about what is important to me. And I don't say I wouldn't date an Asian or a Singaporean again, but I can tell that they are sometimes very different, especially, the part of, let's talk about the fact that everyone lives with their parents.
I just told
coming
you.
here and dating
Until,
a
late age.
35-year-old living with his parents was very difficult for me. I learned that it's very normal, and I'm not here to judge, and I don't want to judge. It's just in Switzerland, if I meet a guy who's over 30 and he lives with his mom, I wouldn't even go on a date with him. Like, this is the biggest red flag that you can think of.
Yeah.
So I had to get used to that as well. And I felt like I was really trying my best to give everyone a chance, and I was very open to it, and I did not judge. But yeah, it was very difficult. It's very difficult.
Thank you for sharing those stories. Why do you think you're still single? Sorry for prying into you, but you're just telling such great stories.
No, I mean, I'm not frustrated, or I'm not. I think the main reason is I know exactly what I want. And I think I'm a personality who has a lot of energy. I know where I stand. I'm very confident. I'm full of energy and love, and I have a lot to give. And I think it's a bit much for a lot of Singaporeans. I think most guys, how I would describe them, are very boring. They have their life. They want to get married soon. And they want to have an HDB soon, and it's just very different. And when I describe them as boring, they would they would describe me as, oh my God, this girl is
She's
like
like, oh,
too
she's
much.
like chaotic.
It's
She's
too
like,
much.
too much.
Yeah,
How can
too
you
much
live with you every day?
energy.
Yes.
How does she do so many things in one
Yeah.
day? Like my day is packed. I do 10 times a day and I love life and I'm.
Yeah, of course,
I
you're a
wanna
former athlete. Of
explore.
course, you're going to have an intense
Yeah.
day. Unless it's 10 hours of
Yeah.
training, until you drop. It's not a good day.
Yeah.
I
So,
understand.
I guess a lot of guys just think, oh my God, give me a break. Yeah, I think that's the main reason. And of course, a lot of people are coming and going in Singapore.
Yeah.
And of course, I'm 177 centimeters tall.
Yeah.
So if I do not want to date someone that's, I also already lowered my standards. The same height is totally fine for me. Even a bit shorter is fine as well. But I don't think I could date someone that is, shoulder height.
Yes.
I think that's also not.
So would you say it is true then for especially tall, Caucasian-looking woman in Singapore? Do you think dating is difficult?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard
100%.
it from many. I heard it from many women.
I talked to so many of other girls and we all agree. I've never been to a place where dating felt so hard.
Yeah.
But it's okay. I've not given up on love and I know that I will find my person. I'm a lover girl. I believe in my own fairy tale and I did not expect to be single by 30, but I think everything happens for a reason. And I'm very sure I will look back one day and I think, oh, that was all just part of the plan.
Well, if it gives you any comfort, I met my husband here in Singapore through common friends, and we have been together for more than 15 years, happily married.
Aww.
So there are good stories, okay? So it's good luck with that one.
Yeah, okay. I keep looking.
I'm going to ask you now a few other questions that we call more like a fireside chat questions, which may be a bit more personal, sometimes provocative, about just who you are, what you think, and you tell me the first thing that comes to your mind. Okay. You ready? What did you secretly feared the people would think about you when you decided not to follow the plan and not to go back to Switzerland? What was the biggest fear there?
I don't think my fear was people to judge me for not coming back. I think my biggest fear was probably they would look at my videos and think, oh my God, like these videos are bad or like these videos suck. But I can say that by the fact that I was so far away, I was very confident in not thinking about too much about what other people think. Because I felt like they're so far away, I'll do my thing and they're in Switzerland.
And who cares what they're saying because they're so far away.
And I think I could not have started this if I was still living in Zurich because Zurich is a very judgmental environment. And if you don't have the right Chanel bag, you cannot sit with us. And taking a step out of this environment and being so far away gave me that confidence, like I'm not in this bubble anymore. Like I do my own thing and if they don't like it, no, it's okay. They're 12 hours away. Like, it's okay. So no, I feel like I wasn't struggling a lot with the fear of judgment because I always knew, the closest friends to me, they will always support me. And maybe that's the best reason or the best way to find out who are really my close friends. Whoever is not enjoying what I do, that's fine. They don't need to support me. But then I also know they're not my friends.
Yeah, there's a lot of wisdom right there. And actually, I also heard it many times that very often we have to leave sort of the environment where we grew up to really become who you are because the container there is too strong.
Yes.
And they get used to your identity that you had for all those years. And now suddenly you want to be someone entirely different. Often it's very hard for people to adjust. Yeah. So it's what you said. If you fire, you don't care. But then if you arrive there and they tell you how they like or dislike you, it could really affect how you feel about yourself.
Yeah. I was never unhappy in Zurich. I lived a very privileged life and I'm beyond grateful for how I grew up. But only coming to Singapore, I realized that there's so much more. And actually, I started to reflect on my life. I realized I don't like partying. I don't like going to fancy dinners on Friday and Saturday and eating at the golf club every Sunday and going to the same fancy places all over again. It's not what I really enjoy. What I enjoy is going on hikes on Saturday morning and going for gym classes and find other creators to create videos with and exploring. So this really just gave me a chance to start from scratch. Yeah.
I love that. Okay. When was the moment that you thought, maybe my mom was right? Maybe it was unnecessary, all this struggle. Maybe I should just go back home. What happened and how did you deal with those thoughts?
I think in these 3 months where I had just come back to Singapore alone, I was living in a shitty apartment. The bed was so hard. I was putting like 10 towels
To make it
on
softer, yeah.
I was like, my back hurt every day. It was really a bad place. I was living with a hoarder. So unhappy with this situation. I did not know whether or not I could stay in Singapore. Like this uncertainty really drains you because you can't plan, right?
Yeah.
Any moment, Ministry of Manpower could have told me no, and then I would have to pack my bags and
And
leave.
you need to have a plan B first
Yeah.
of all, but also you can plan
Yeah.
anything here. Yeah, it's very
And
tough.
that was a long time, and I'm someone who likes to plan. I'm like to know what I'm doing, and I was in this limbo for such a long time, and I cried so much with my mom's phone, and I said, Mom, like I should have just come back. Like this is probably not worth it. It's not going to work out. And she was the one saying, Marian, you're not giving up. You've come so far. At least try. I'm here. We're going to get through this together. And if it wasn't for my mom, I wouldn't be here.
Wow, I'm liking your mom more and more. She
Yeah.
sounds like my mom. Really cool
best.
mom. We are lucky.
The best.
We are lucky with this. So you started your Instagram account, and then in your own words, that success and popularity came very fast for you. And my question here is, emotionally, was there any cost that you had to pay for that?
For sure. I think being exposed to a lot of people and reaching a wider audience always brings in messages and people who do not agree with what you do and do not like what you do. And I have a folder of 255 screenshots of hate messages, and I screenshot them just for records or for...
To show to whom?
No, sometimes I expose them on Instagram to show people that this is just not okay. And I got really bad hate comments. I mean, there were, I think until now, 3 people who sent me not a comment, but an actual message, a DM, saying I should kill myself and someone should rape me alive, and brutal, like terrible. I wouldn't even like come up with such words. And I think I needed a bit of time to like process this and was trying to understand, what did I do to these people?
I was just wondering, why would something like this happen?
I don't know. I really don't know, because I think my content is genuinely very positive. 99% of my content is about how much I love Singapore, but it's actually a good story. I got to tell this story. So there was this guy saying I should kill myself, and I exposed him on my Instagram. There was a photo of him and his name, and then another user tracked him down and found out that he was working for Yale University.
Oh my God.
She sent a screenshot to his company, to his boss. And the next day, I received an email from him apologizing. I'm sorry, I was very drunk while I was writing that message. He said he got suspended from work and he needed to see a psychiatrist. So there was really like, this guy really paid the price. And then I replied, look, I just want to know why. What did I do to you? And then he said, and I still cannot believe that was his answer. There was a video of mine going viral where I was in the supermarket and I was basically saying that I don't like gardenia bread, like the store-bought bread that was probably produced in China. And then that guy said, Marian, I was so personally offended that you did not like the bread I was growing up with.
Oh my God.
And I think that moment I really realized, wow, I mean, if the only thing I don't like about your country is the store-bought bread from fair price, I think you should be very grateful, because it's probably not even produced in Singapore.
Yeah.
It's a fabric produced.
And come on, healthy feedback is also not bad, right?
And I'm sorry, it's my opinion. I think that bread just sucks. If you compare to fresh, crispy bread from Switzerland, it's just not
definitely.
good.
I mean, that's nothing compared to fresh bread from Switzerland.
But is that really a reason why someone should not be alive? Because you don't like I don't know. It's really hard for me to understand.
Wow.
I think that moment I realized I'll never understand what people are thinking in the internet. So yeah, that guy, I don't know if he still has his job, but I think he learned his lesson. It's crazy, yeah.
But then how do you keep going? I mean, I hope it's not every day, but still with all those hatred from time to time, and maybe when something goes viral and it comes in, people who are in Switzerland, okay, you don't care if they like or not because they're far, you said, but people who are here, how do you deal with that?
I genuinely think that if someone goes around and leaves hate comments on someone else's profile from who they've never met before, this is just a self-reflection of their own this is just a self-reflection of their own unhappiness. Have you ever met a successful, happy person that would do that? I don't think you have.
I don't think so.
These people must be very, very sad. So just the
like
thought
that
of that
person from Yale.
Yeah, I
Whatever
mean,
happened there.
that guy must have serious issues. These people really have issues. And I think I really do not take this really personal because they've never met me. They don't know me.
Yeah.
So I almost feel sorry for them because they should really get their life together.
What do you think content creation gave you that money never could?
So many things. So many things. Content creation enabled me to meet amazing people, to bring me to places I would have never explored before, to be able to get paid for things I would have paid my own money for 2 years ago. So I really it's really my absolute dream job. And from the bottom of my heart, every single day, I'm thankful that I get to earn my money with content creation. So yeah, I think it brings me joy. Sometimes I feel like it's my birthday every day. Like I got brownies yesterday and from a flower company sent me flowers and I get lots of free stuff. And of course I'm working hard for it, but I do not take a single of these presents or gifts for granted. Yeah.
It has been 3 years, right? You're doing content creation.
Yes.
If you were to be really honestly look, in your heart, in your mind, what do you think maximum duration you're saying doing that? Have you ever thought about it?
I really cannot see an end date because I knew that in the beginning when I was posting so much, a lot of people said, in the beginning, you're very passionate, everything's going well, and now you're posting every day. And 3 years later, I'm here, and every single day, I'm so excited to post a video. Every single day. And I love creating videos. And I was walking here and I was thinking about a video idea I had and I needed to write it down and I want to go home and film it. And I have not lost my passion a single second. And I think as long as I can have this passion and this love for creating content, this is what it's all about. And I think it's a big misconception about what this job is really about. They think, oh, it's so nice. You get free invites and travels and presents, but it's actually you creating videos. And if you don't like creating videos, then this job is not for you.
Mm-hmm. It's not just about travel and flowers.
I love ideation. I love scripting. I love filming. I love editing. I love engaging with the people that interact with my content. And as long as I've not seen a decline in the joy of doing that. So as long as people are interested in seeing my content and are happy to support me so that I can make money with it, I cannot see any end date to that.
So if you were to meet another woman who is, let's say, early 20s, and she comes from a privileged family, and the question from her would be, Marianne, do you think I should struggle on purpose, or do you think I should just choose an easier life, marry the guy that my parents tell me to marry? And what would you say? And what is the right choice here, if there is any?
I don't think it's about actively choosing the struggle. It's about being honest to yourself and ask yourself, what do you really want? Because usually what you really want comes or lies outside of your comfort zone. And then I would tell her, if this is really what you want, what are the steps that you need to take to get there? And I'm pretty sure that along the way, there are some steps that are uncomfortable. But then
with any choice.
With any choice. But then that's the moment where I think she has to push through. But if she's very happy with her life and she's 100% comfortable and there's nothing else that she would like to do, then why should she choose to struggle just for the sake of struggling? No, only if she thinks that will get her closer to her goal.
The final question. Success at this stage of your life, where you are and who you are today, what does it mean to be successful to you?
Being successful to me means being able to wake up every day and look forward to your day. Be excited about your job and your life and not thinking, I wish I could do this or I wish I could do that. And I think that's why I would say I'm successful, because I think I'm really living my dream life. And I think that's what success is about for me.
Thank you. Anything else you want to add before we wrap up for today?
No, I just I think I wanted to tell, like, I really do not take for granted that I get to meet someone like you, that I have these opportunities to speak at podcasts and share my opinion and share my life, and that I get so much support and love from people I've never met before. And I could never do this without the community I've built online, and I really do not take it for granted. And whoever was listening, yeah, you're part of this. So thank you for supporting.
Marian, thank you so much. It was such a wonderful conversation in so many ways. I just love your honesty, and your story just reminds all of us that independence doesn't always actually come from desperation, and often it just comes from your choice and your purpose. And, struggle only if you really have to for your purpose. Otherwise, what's the point? And we also know in Singapore that success often really planned in advance. So a good question to ask yourself, would you choose comfort over growth? And is there right or wrong choice here? Or maybe depending where you are at this particular season of your life. And if this conversation moved you like it moved me, then absolutely connect with Marian, connect with me, leave the comment, follow and share with a friend. And I'm going to be seeing you next time for another conversation. Bye.
Bye.
I heard also from women complaining, why do I look so fat on your camera? I like, you don't, it's just very zoomed in.